Hey guys, Alex from Central Florida Enthusiasts, and today we are covering a review of my second favorite roller coaster, Lightning Rod. So let's go. Alright, so Lightning Rod is a wooden topper track coaster manufactured by Rocky Mountain Construction. It has a drop of 165 feet. It has a total track length of 3,800 feet, a max speed of 73 miles an hour, and it is easily the best roller coaster Rocky Mountain Construction has done. So let's begin with a ride experience on Lightning Rod. You first proceed by going up the launch lift hill, and this launch is actually pretty forceful. It's nothing insane like Top Thrill Dragster or Doda Dampa, nothing like that, but it's very forceful. You then proceed to go into the first of the two double dollies, and the first one, as a 2020, you're probably not going to get much of anything at all. If you're in the front row, you might get a faint hint of floater, but other than that, any other row, you're not really going to get anything. But then you proceed into the second one, and you start by getting a little bit of floater, and then that floater turns into a flowjector, and then as you go into the drop, it just becomes full-blown ejector, and you just fall off the side of this mountain, and it is insane. So after the drop, you then proceed into the wave turn. The wave turn is basically just a sideways airtime hill. You are 90 degrees on your side and then getting ejected out of your seat. Now, early in the season, it's going to be more or less floater to flowjector. Later on in the season, it's going to be ejector. So after the wave turn, you then proceed into the first of two twist and shouts. This is one of the more crazier elements on the ride. The first one, you whip out onto the outer side of a bank turn, and it's probably most comparable to Steel Vengeance's outer bank turn. You then proceed into the second twist and shout, and this one is way stronger than the previous. You first start with this bank turn down a ravine, and then you bank outwards, getting a nice level of whip. Then you are followed by with a crazy amount of ejector, and then you twist back inwards, and you get some of the strongest laterals I have ever witnessed on any coaster, and this is easily one of the best moments of the ride. You then proceed into an airtime hill that takes you to the base of the quadruple down, and this is easily one of the more underrated moments of the ride. You come up for a brief moment of ejector, and then you crush the top of the quadruple down. You then proceed into the quad down, and this is easily one of the most talked about roller coaster elements in the last 50-60 years. This is easily one of the best elements ever put on a coaster of all time. You first approach that first airtime hill. It is a very crazy airtime moment. It's stronger than most of the airtime on the ride. And then you come into that second airtime hill, and you literally feel the train get faster, and you just hit that hill even faster. And then around that hill, you start to think, we still have two more hills, and we're doing nothing but picking up speeds. So you're at this point just fathoming how crazy the next airtime moment is, and then it hits you, and it exceeds your expectations. And then the same thing for the next one. And then finally at the very bottom, there's a little airtime hill going into the half loop, and this is easily the strongest moment of airtime I have ever experienced, right after a sea of head choppers. You then proceed to go up the half loop, as they call it, and this is one of the rare moments on any RMC where you actually feel some positive G's, and they're pretty decent. After that, you then go into an airtime hill, and then slam into the brakes, and thus concludes your ride experience. So why do I rank this ride so highly? Well, it's pretty simple. It ultimately comes down to two reasons: the natural sequence of elements, and two, the lack of filler elements. And by the natural sequence of elements, what I mean by that is that each element seems to step it up a notch. And not just that, it also complements the next one very well. It's very rare to find a ride where the best elements are actually towards the end of the ride. Normally, with most rides, it's towards the beginning, but with this one, all the best elements are towards the end of the ride. Now, we cannot mention Lightning Rod without mentioning its extended downtime. Fortunately, I have not experienced any downtime with Lightning Rod, but for those who have, trust me when I say this, I absolutely feel your pain. One of the biggest causes for extended downtime, at least from what I have heard, is that allegedly Lightning Rod experiences overspeeding. I have heard alleged reports of upwards of 80, even some rumors of 100-mile-an-hour run at one point in time. Now, this problem has allegedly been fixed because of a slowed down launch, which does prevent airtime at the top of the first double dolly, and also the brakes hit a little bit harder before that double dolly so that the ride can't overspeed now. But overall, the park definitely seems very committed to keep this ride running reliably. It ran very reliably in 2019, and I would not expect anything less for 2020. But anyways, guys, that should do it for my overall review of Lightning Rod. This is easily one of the best coasters I've ever been on, and it is definitely worth your time checking out. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Alex from Central Florida Enthusiasts. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.